Hello, dear friends. I want to express my utmost respect for all points of view, even if I do not agree with them. I never criticize anyone who has an opinion different from mine, but I express my opinion freely, assuming that I do not have the gift of infallibility like the Pope, and apologizing if anyone feels offended by my words. My love for all my colleagues, even those who criticize me. Let us never forget that the enemy is not us, and we are all allies. Opinion piece. The fourth turning. According to Neil Howe, Reconstruction Era, Strauss Howe theory, and there is still some good in the world. What is decent is worth fighting for. Let's start. Neil Howe, in his new book, The Fourth Turning is Here, predicts that violence will increase in the coming years. I wish this fourth turning had not occurred in my time, as Gandalf said, but we cannot choose the time we inhabit, or perhaps we can. According to Strauss-Howe generational theory, the fourth turn is a crisis, an era of destruction, often involving war or revolution, in which institutional life is destroyed and rebuilt in response to a perceived threat to survival. After the crisis, civic authority is revived, cultural expression is redirected toward community purpose, and human beings begin to position themselves as members of a larger group. We are all unwitting participants in a historical crisis that will determine the fate of future generations and falling empires, creating heroes and villains who will occupy passages in the history tomes read by schoolchildren a century from now during the next fourth turning. We cannot avoid this fourth turning and turn time back to past seasons. Just as once you enter the harsh, stormy, dark days of winter, you cannot turn time back to the peaceful, warm, idyllic days of autumn. But time will return, spring, and it will be much better than anything we have known in the past. There is still good in this world, and what is good and decent in this world is worth fighting for. Whether it is passive resistance, ridiculing and shaming the weak, or growing our own food. Why else are we on this earth but to do whatever it takes to ensure that our children and their children inhabit a planet where humankind, family, humility, and community are valued? We are heading towards an internal conflict. Fear and denial are your internal enemy, which you must overcome to face the real enemy. Is our love for what we hold dear worth fighting for? We'll see it shortly. Christianity and Zionism. Many Christians have been led to support Zionism because of a recent belief system called dispensationalism, which claims that Yeshua HaMashiach, or Jesus Christ, would return silently and invisibly like a thief in the night to remove his church from the earth just before the 7-year period known as the Great Tribulation. This belief is called the pre-court rapture, as has been popularized by a number of books, movies, and television series. According to this theory, the visible physical return of Yeshua, Jesus, could not occur 7 years later, at the end of the Great Tribulation, unless the third temple in Jerusalem is rebuilt, so that the Antichrist can enter it at the midpoint of the Great Tribulation and fulfill the prophecy of 2 Thessalonians in 2:4. In other words, pre-tribulation. Christians believe it is in their own interest to support the Zionists today, so that the temple can be rebuilt ahead of time, thus hastening their departure from this planet before the prophesied horrors of the tribulation, the Great Tribulation. Armageddon. Many starseeds feel out of place in this world, according to Swarm. Alex Jones and Jordan Peterson reveal secrets of interdimensional entities. The Mexican historian Enrique Krause believes that the defects of politicians are vanity, arrogance, narcissism, megalomania, paranoia, and intoxication with power. Colonel Douglas MacGregor opinion with Judge Napolitano. In quotes, can you avoid taking us to Armageddon? It sure doesn't seem like it. MacGregor stated, in quotes, we are tired of hearing this talk about Republicans and Democrats. We are bringing together citizens who share our broader traditional values. We want to end these useless interventions abroad and restore the rule of law that is destroying our society. Close quotes. But Armageddon. Anders Brastan warned about the installation of one of the most powerful radar stations in the world on the Barajan Peninsula in Finnmark, Norway, just before tens of thousands of birds died across the peninsula. The North Sea route is the shortest route between the European part of Russia and the Far East, lasting 15 to 20 days. Amazon already has 750,000 robots to replace its delivery workers. Synthetic telepathy. Synthetic telepathy and remote neural surveillance are two sides of the same coin. Remote neural monitoring is a form of functional neuroimaging capable of extracting data from the human brain at a distance without the need for physical contact or electrodes. It allows access to a person's thoughts without their knowledge or permission, collecting massive amounts of personal data from the population allows them to feed this information back to quantum computers that produce schematics to understand the collective consciousness, the soul. Types of predictive programming are designed to influence and modify human behavior. Clarifications. Epic Cosmic Clarifications of the Current Era by Bennett Ross. We carry within us a divine flame, a fragment of cosmic energy that is the source of created reality. The flame is fueled by love and compassion, and the authentic desire to connect with all that exists. If we do not fuel the flame by cultivating the values and virtues we wish to see flourish, it would be reduced to a mere spark. In the movie Matrix, Neo is called that because he escaped by being in the upper mind of the Neo Cortex. Neo awakens to the potential of his higher powers, transcending the limits of our perceived reality. Neo means new, the transformation of the core of the human brain with the formation of the neocortex and basal ganglia, which is known as the reptilian brain that focuses on survival instincts, while the neocortex is where reasoning occurs, creativity and critical thinking. Imagination is the precursor of reality. It is the key that releases the illusion of external control. Your own image creates your reality, and your identity becomes your protection. Love yourself deeply and unconditionally. Affirm the reality of your own greatness. What you experience comes down to loving and accepting yourself. People will receive that energy and gravitate towards you. Original sin is the birth of a new rhythmic pattern of undulating duality and an oscillating sine wave with negative and positive polarities. The polar vortex is the backbone of the universe, where energies rise and fall. The human spine is the microcosmos that can send positive energies into the universe or allow negative influences to step into its foundation. The soul is a continuous effort to maintain balance to harmonize the experiences of this realm with the realms of from which it came. The soul seeks to embrace individuality while recognizing interconnection. You know there is a purpose behind the crest and thoughts of your sine wave. Opinions. According to Martin Yeats, we are very close of that tipping point where fraud becomes strength. The shadow war was operated through secondary channels until it can become open. That final, very public battle for freedom is approaching, and we are more prepared than ever. There are many reasons to continue trusting the plan and deny fear control of our daily lives. Although the situation of final confrontation is serious, there is nothing desperate about it. According to the Arthurian Council through Daniel Scranton, many of you are jumping timelines and going to much better realities in the blink of an eye, because you are willing to do the work that is necessary on yourselves that allows you to keep up with the ascension energies, which they are transformation energies. Ascension is not simply about taking you to a better place because you have been a good person. Ascension is about helping you transform from within, which then creates a better place around you. And that's what you are doing all the time. According to Gillian Macbeth Lawton, the prophecy you seek to know breaks the rules of physics. It is alive and flexible, waiting for your instructions. In your awake state, all experience responds to you, hence the need for future knowledge that is brief and direct. In the Earth hologram, you see the future, you change it. When you have a need, satisfy it. Know that the universe changes according to your personal belief system. Don't subscribe to anything that doesn't reveal your true self. Subscribe to that which houses all knowledge without the limits of time and human perception. Healing Planetary Trauma by Natalia Alba. This is the end of an era of slavery and manipulation that we are finally leaving behind, and for which many will continue to fight, still wanting to remain in the old ways. This is what we are seeing reflected collectively, the constant battle for abuse, not only for power, but for the control of consciousness, something that is changing for the first time on our planet. The planet is releasing more miasmas, all the memories deeply implanted in the collective. This reflects that we are finally healing our past planetary timeline, eons of trauma and many other distortions that we can clear and restore now. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.